got Nick Romaya with me today, who's
Hey
the
everybody.
partnerships head in Recart, the awesome company that's taking care of the messenger marketing. And I used to be super skeptical about messenger marketing. I would just tell people, just uh, another one of those shiny object syndrome symptoms, right? That, why do you need that funnel and everything? But then, when I started seeing at the kind of results that you can achieve with that and the kind of conversion rates that you can see, that are unmatched by any website that I've ever seen. I think we were connected by Ryan from Blendjet, right?
Yes,
There's some other
yes,
names. Yeah, so I really kind of now I see. I was blind.
yeah,
Now I see.
yeah. No, definitely, and it's very interesting. From not only in our field, but also just like from a general marketing perspective, when you kind of most e-commerce companies are focusing on email. Email is the backbone of all marketing strategies, for any e-commerce company. And then now SMS has been introduced, which is pretty interesting and still rather new with most companies. But if you want to go even more down the newer rabbit hole, the shiny object rabbit hole, as you said, you see messenger marketing, and it's actually a totally new tool, but it's a very useful and awesome tool to engage and reach your consumers. I think the biggest issue, though, is education, right? Even when I was applying for this job, I had no clue what messenger marketing was, so I had to do my due diligence. That's a big factor for us, 2020, and then also next year, education. So
Yeah,
that's what
that's what we're here for, right? So we're
yeah,
gonna show all of you guys, and I think that there was a fad for messenger marketing probably last year, probably somewhere around last year. Everybody was just talking about it, but then it kind of died down, and then it almost seemed like it was never gonna come back. But now like amongst the rising CPMs, especially after kind of the grasp of COVID is going down. I see a lot of people exploring some new ways to, to be competitive again, to scale further, to, reach their audience through new media.
hmm
And so, I think that this is going to be a useful thing. So today we'll talk about messenger marketing. We'll talk about all those insane funnels, how to set it up and things like that. Um, and there are really
yep,
some strategies that I think some people are going to like here, especially if you're at a point where you're kind of clueless and you're searching for some new ideas on how to scale your business further, or maybe your ROAS have dropped and you want to find some new funnel to explore to counteract that when nothing else is working. Then Recart can be your friend as well. And
definitely.
yeah, I'm just also curious to see some kind of numbers from this, because I know that once people see what's possible, then they will listen, right, to
Yeah,
the conversation.
definitely. And I'll make sure to, balance the theory with some actual examples as well. I have some queued up for us. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to show you guys the different capabilities that we can do. I mean, the main two examples I'm going to focus on are on-site, which is, you come onto the website and then a pop-up leads to a messenger conversation, and then also the ads. Um, Everyone's been running the same kind of ads for the last, decade, it feels like, in terms of Instagram and Facebook. But there's a big funnel you can kind of unlock just by adding that messenger aspect. And I'm excited to show you guys that as well, because I think
that's
that is
perfect.
really going to drive a
So
lot of attention and eyeballs.
so we'll talk about the why. We'll talk about why would you even be listening to this subject, right? Especially if you've not been using this. We'll talk about the how and how to actually make this, idea and those numbers a reality. And we'll also talk about, some mistakes that people make on the way. Uh,
Yep.
we'll talk about we'll talk about things like some case studies, some real life case studies, and we'll talk a little bit more about how you guys can benefit from Recard and messenger marketing for your own business.
Yep.
Anything else? Anything we missed in terms of that? What are we not going to talk about? We're not going to go into some tiny details and like some boring stuff and all the same strategies that you've seen on some other webinars and videos. Like this is brand new and like this is very, you know, the latest strategies that Recart and advertisers like us have been testing recently. So I feel that even if you're not actively using messenger marketing, you're gonna find a way on how to apply it to your business and
Yep.
how to get the most out of it. Sweet, Nick. So I'm gonna shut up, let you take over, turn on my funny background, and yeah, lead the way.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Matt. I really appreciate it. To everyone attending, thank you for joining. I'm excited to show you guys a little bit more about messenger marketing, which is, yeah, as we were saying for the last few minutes, a very foreign area in not only the e-commerce world, but just general marketing, in the general marketing world. So I'm going to share my screen here, but again, thank you again, and please get some questions going. I'd be happy to answer any questions, as we approach the end of the webinar. I'm going to get started here. So the easiest way to think about Recart is first taking a step back and saying, what is messenger marketing? The easiest way to think about messenger marketing is to compare it to two things that you guys probably are already working with if you're in this webinar. So that's most likely email, at least I'd hope so. That's the backbone for most marketing strategies, decades of use cases. But of course, since everybody uses it, the open rates are very low. You're looking at like 12%, maybe 25% max. I've heard some people getting those kind of open rates, which is awesome. But if you just look here, the experience is high, engagement is low, essentially is what I'm getting across. SMS is the polar opposite. You're looking at 90% open rates, but the experience is deemed poor. It's still okay, but it's deemed poor because we have a 5-digit code that's texting you, and you either buy or unsubscribe. I subscribed to Fashion Nova, for example, a couple weeks ago, and I think they send me a message every single day, and then I eventually had to reply stop. So not downplaying SMS or email. I think everyone should actually use all three strategies. This is just a way to kind of like, where should I position messenger marketing in my head? So if you add in messenger in the list, you're looking at similar open rates as SMS, 90%, but the experience is as good, if not even better than email. At any time, I can just reply and ask for a customer representative and ask for help. So you're automatically connect to the customer chat. You're obviously connected to the social media channels. So you got all of that, all this information surrounding any social media channel at the tip of your finger. And you can send a bunch of educational videos, discount codes, things like that. Think of it as a conversational tool with your customer, a little bit more intimate conversation, as if when you talk to your friends, you're sending all these blue text messages, the iPhone craze, sending all these blue text messages to each other like pretty quickly. Think of that as like the same kind of idea with Messenger. So Recart is a messenger marketing platform, and I'll quickly go over this because this isn't the main topics that we wanted to go over, but we are the #1 paid for Shopify app, and we've been around for 5 years. And we have tons of integrations, so a lot of these things that we're going to talk about in a moment will actually integrate pretty nicely with a lot of the people that and companies that you probably already work with. And we also have 130K installs, which puts us in the top 10 installs of all time. So there's definitely is some popularity around messenger marketing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to go a long way here for the entire messenger marketing industry and Recart as this education progresses. So to quickly just focus on two of the main ways to think about messenger marketing. I know I talked about SMS and email. Now let's talk about it in practical use. What are the two main ways we can actually take advantage of this product, and how does it work? The easiest way to conceptualize it is, let's start with ads. So the ads that you're already running on Facebook and Instagram, how can we make those better? The principle behind this was ads have been increasing from 2015 to 2018, and 2019, 40% year over year. I think it was about between 50 cents in 2015, and then by the end, if you're looking at towards the end of 2019, you're at $1.72. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's only going to go up exponentially after that. So we wanted to take a look at the current ads space and say, okay, how can we add this value to such a very competitive landscape? Everyone's bidding these prices up because Facebook ads work, Instagram ads work, because that's our target these days. All these millennials and Gen Z, that's what everyone's going on. And that's, I mean, I've seen numbers from Shopify stores, all their traffic's coming directly from Instagram. So this is definitely a very helpful way. You can increase and expand that funnel just by adding Recart or the messenger marketing kind of add-on there to your ads. So what we have here is a click to messenger ad. So if you go on yeswevibe.com and then you leave, what you're actually doing is you're triggering this retargeting ad. When you see this ad again, you click it and then you just go back to the website, and that's how all these ads are working. So what we're going to do is actually add Recart into this. So what does that do, and then what's the difference there? So this buy one get one free, we're going to click that, get the offer in Messenger. It's going to open up a Messenger conversation now. So it says, welcome Soma. Soma is the name of our CEO. Tap the button below to get your buy one, get one free offer. This is just a tap, and this is also how Messenger opt-ins work, which is pretty interesting. You know, when you opt in, this is another own channel, right? You got to remember this. You have email, you have your SMS list that you're filling out, and now you have a new channel that you can fill out, which adds another dimension to your marketing. That is the Messenger channel. To opt in to Messenger, the Messenger channel is extremely easy, which makes it honestly pretty awesome. Think about email opt-ins. You're typing in that email and you're pressing enter. For Messenger opt-in, all you need is some kind of interaction. So we're trying to get these interactions as easily as possible. So from this ad, we're going to prompt them to just tap this unlock discount, which gives them that opt-in. Here you go. Here's the discount code BOGO. You're going to click that, and that'll send you back to the website. So how a Messenger opt-in works is within a 24-hour period, Facebook will allow you to message them freely. So if there's no add to cart in 3 hours, for example, right here, we're going to send them the follow-up. Hey, did you forget to activate, or did you forget to come back and buy this product? We can send that probably again 2 times is the way to do it within a 24-hour period. Any more than that is just spammy, we'd say. So just to take a step back here, normal ad, you'd click it, you go back to the website. Now what we've done is we've collected an opt-in, we've given them that code, and we followed up with them twice in the 24-hour period. Same exact price as the click that you're already spending money on. So you've just opened up this 2 follow-up funnel, and you've gotten that opt-in all from that same click that you're doing. There's just a quick example of the power of Recart. Another example, Blendjet. I know you're quite familiar with this, Matt. This is actually a sequence that helped Blendjet make an extra $800,000 last year, just from this simple sequence. So this is a Blendjet ad on Facebook. So you're going to click that Get Offer in Messenger. Instead of going to their site, I'm going to click Get Offer in Messenger. That's going to open up a Messenger conversation again. Unlock discount. I'm just going to tap that. Again, that's my opt-in now. So I've already opted in. By the way, let's get another own channel there. Which phone number can we text it to? Or which email can we send it to? Either one works. Since Facebook did 2-factor authentication, everyone's phone number, and I say everyone, 95% of people's phone numbers are attached to their Facebook. Everyone's email is already attached. Obviously, that's how we all logged in when we made an account 10 or 15 years ago. But this just pops in as a gray bubble, kind of like the unlock discount, and you just tap that. So from here to there is 2 taps, and that's 2 owned channels for your e-commerce business, just in 2 taps. Pretty awesome. And you've also given them a discount code at the end, and you're going to follow them twice within a relatively short period of time. If you see this follow-up isn't just like, hey, come back, you can see it says shop 20% off. I have a question, check recipes. So these follow-ups can also derive some more inspiration for the subsequent purchase. We live in an ADD society. I think the average consumer gets about 350 notifications a day amongst everything. If you think about how many channels we have and how many apps we have on our phone, it's pretty ridiculous. I could have been truly trying to make that purchase on Blendjet, but my mom may have called me, maybe I got an email from work, and I completely forgot. If I can get these follow-ups within a 24-hour period, relevant to the time that I was actually intent on purchasing this Blendjet, that can be very powerful. And that's how we're seeing a lot of our success as well, these follow-ups. Let me show you guys an example here. So this isn't just limited to more salesy owned channel. This company, Pajamas, and excuse my my Instagram video, I did a screen recording, but I wanted to show you guys a click to messenger ad. They're only available on mobile, but this is from start to finish. The cool thing about this is that Pajamas, it's pajamas that you can pee in. It's pretty interesting. They're patented, so it's good for, you know, mostly targeting moms, right? The issue was that when they came to us, is like a lot of people are buying pajamas, but they're assuming that it completely just takes away the diaper factor within our lives. Well, that's actually a misconception. It's actually to a certain level of urine. So if your child has like a big bladder and is always, I guess, like peeing 24/7, there's no way the pajamas are going to absorb all that pee. So a lot of negative reviews were getting left. So the client came up to us and he said, hey, I would rather have 100% of people be educated and get like 50% less sales than the other way around, where I'm getting these negative reviews because people just don't know that our product is a supplement to diapers. It doesn't replace it. So this flow we built for them shows you that this can not just be salesy. Here's the click to messenger ad. See, it opens up a messenger conversation. Check out this 30-second video to see what pajamas is the best wedding. Backup available. Watch video now. Now a video is getting played and it's talking about pajamas. They're kind of going to do, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but can you guys hear that? Hear that? Can you hear the video?
I don't think we can hear it.
You don't think you can hit it? Okay, cool. Well, anyways, she's basically explaining that here's like what it looks like if it, what a diaper with this amount of piss, this amount of urine, whatever. Depending on the answer, it'll say, awesome, I think you're ready. And then, by the way, look how they fit. Here's another video explaining how they fit. And we're going to add in the factor that we actually help help relieve any kind of, like, we're going to plant a tree or eco-friendly, things like that. And then all of a sudden we've taken them to that website. So within that one ad, we've taken them on this journey, educating them about the product, showing them 2 videos, telling them about how we're eco-friendly, getting those master subscribers, and then finally we're taking them to that purchase with the discount code. So this is working really well. You can see the creativity here. It can get pretty awesome for certain clients. If you have a product that is high education, that has that educational hump, if you will, you can see that this can be pretty powerful. But it's also great for, you know, fire sales, if you will, which is more like this Blendjet example right here. You know, let's just focus on sales and a lot of them. So really, there's a lot of versatility with these ads. This is another cool example that we can do. It's called comment to messenger. So you see a normal post. The best way to conceptualize this is a giveaway. When you see giveaways, it's usually like our Instagram, like our Facebook page. That's one entry. Give us your email. That's another entry. We kind of make the entire giveaway process as easy as possible. And you get 3 owned channels just from one post. Let me show you this. So this is a giveaway that a company in Australia called Riderwear did. They said comment in the description. We just, you know, took away some of the wording just to highlight the main points here, but it says comment in the description and you're going to enter in the giveaway. As soon as they comment, that's opening a messenger conversation. Blah, 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 give us your email. That's automatically going to pop up. Give us your phone number, by the way. That's automatically going to pop up. 2 taps. I'm not typing this out. Then you've entered your giveaway. As soon as those 2 taps are made, these are getting sent automatically to your email and SMS providers. So immediately, and since it's coming from Facebook, it's not just a typical email or SMS. It actually comes with a lot of variables. You're looking at a first name, last name, gender, location, language, and their profile picture, although the profile picture would be weird to email people with their profile picture, right? But you get that information, classic Facebook with their privacy issues. Pretty cool. So from, just to recap, one post, usually, you know, to enter in the giveaway, you comment, you add friends or whatever. The moment you comment, you open a messenger conversation, you get 2 owned channels, and you get the messenger owned channel, which is, you just have to have some kind of interaction. And those are automatically getting sent there, all within 3 taps. Pretty powerful if used correctly. This kind of plays to the messenger conversational marketing aspect at the end of the day, Messenger is a channel for sales, but it's the best channel for conversational marketing out there by far. I just showed you guys the pajamas example. All of that, all of those messages that were just conveyed and shoved in my face, all within that short period of time. You can get really creative with this and truly create a dialogue with your consumer. That's what this company did, for example. That click to Messenger ad, they took them to a 20-step quiz, and here's parts of the quiz. 20 questions. I mean, from an ad, it seems crazy, right? Usually you want to focus on the most little amount of contact as possible. But anyways, if you see here on this quiz, the moment 100% of people start at question 1, by the time you're at question 4, there's 75% of people. By the time you're at question 20, actually you've only seen 2% drop off from that 75%. So what does that all mean? People like answering these questions. People like this conversational marketing shtick, if you will. It's not just a temporary thing, and a lot of people are thinking about let's reduce friction and stuff like that. But people, if it's there and if it's engaging and if it's fun, if you can create a dialogue, it can be pretty powerful. So you saw that most of the people, 75% of people, actually answered all 20 questions, and at the end, their prize was viewing products that their quiz gave them, which is pretty awesome. If you could frame, hey, check out my website as a prize, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, insanely powerful thing, right? Especially if you can use the answers to personalize the product choices and send people to the relevant product categories and things like that. If you have a way to personalize product based on the answers, that's just perfect, right? Especially as traffic is moving to mobile. Actually, just kind of crossed my mind. I'm just taking it up. We've got a brand for which we're gonna apply it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's definitely interesting. And again, I think all of this, like all my examples, the things I'm going through, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is no real like messenger agencies, if you will, or like hyper focused, right? That's our focus, to kind of like develop this and see where people can really take these ideas and grow. These are just like some small examples, but again, I think this kind of concept is just barely scratching the surface. I'm very excited to see some of the crazy things that some companies will make and take advantage of with this tool. But just to go and, I guess, recap real quick, most ads that are being run these days, this is kind of the life cycle. You get the visitor and then you retarget them. If you add Recart into the mix, you get that visitor. You're also going to get a messenger subscriber. You're going to get another own channel, which also comes with those variables I was saying before, the first name, last name, gender, location, language. And you're going to follow up with them twice. And you're also going to still retarget them, of course, but all that is the exact same price. So, of course, we nice little example, right? The paper airplane, the rocket ship.
Yeah, that's perfect. I would even question if it's going to be the same price. I think it may actually be cheaper to run the ads that are related to Messenger, just because if people are interacting with your ads, especially comment to Messenger and things like that, if they're interacting, then Facebook is like pushing your ads more because your quality rankings go higher, right? And engagement rate rankings go higher, so your CPMs are effectively getting cheaper. Right, like we found, any interaction with your ads, if you're getting a lot of them, then Facebook will prioritize your ads, right? Like, really funny story recently, we were running story ads, right? But we were not running them in a vertical format, but in a square one. And the reason for that was it was a mistake. Let's face it. So it was a mistake. We didn't personalize the placement, but then it turned out that this ad was just killing it way better than if we split tested it with the vertical ads. And we suspected the reason was that the copy was more visible, so that when people were clicking on the read more on the copy, they were actually interacting with the ads and engaging with it more. And Facebook, because of that, it got the signal that, hey, this seems like a good ad that the users like, right? So the same thing is happening with the Messenger ads, in fact.
Yep. Hit the nail on the head there. I mean, couldn't have said it better. It's also very interesting, by the way, the consumer mind, the way the horizontal and vertical, I guess, was a blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah.
So I spoke a lot about ads here, and thanks for bearing with me with that ads journey. I want to talk about let's just say ads maybe isn't the core of your business, and you want to focus more on how can I convert people that are already coming onto the website. So direct traffic, how could Recart help there? Again, the ads is just one aspect of what we could do. We have a lot of other cool features that I'm excited to show you guys, but let me show you an on-site widget. Essentially an on-site widget, and I'll get to that. So just imagine you come onto a website and it says, hey, subscribe to get 15% off, put in your email, and we're going to send that discount to Messenger. That's like, this is like a typical pop-up. Usually we just have that email field, but Recart, we're going to add that that Messenger field. As you can see, my ex-governor, I'm from California, Arnold, but it'll automatically recognize that you're logged in, and you can send that to Messenger, which is pretty cool. Again, let me show you why this is important, why we want to add this as opposed to just having that email. Let me show you a real life example with one of our clients. This is Your Super. Fantastic company, really. It's amazing to see the growth that they've had within the last few years, and especially during the COVID era. They sell essentially these packages of superfoods, chia seeds, things like that. But you get them in bulk, and you like take them, once a day for a week or so, and detoxing plans, stuff like that. Really awesome story. So when you come onto the website, and let me zoom in for you guys, but I just wanted to show you guys bird's eye view what some of these flows can look like. But when you come onto their website, and that's going to be something that I just showed you guys, you put in your email and you send the discount to Messenger. You get this video. This is the first message that you get when you come onto the website. And you can see these are the sales that have just been attributed only within the last 3 months as well. And you can see all the numbers are attributed on top with the sales, sent, open rate, click-through rate, and the sales. So before we're even getting them that code, and this is also our back end, you can click and drag stuff. It's fun, it's interactive. You see it from the user's point of view. But before we get that code, we get this video. Why is this awesome? The reason why I like sharing this example so much is that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? If you have a video, and I'm a consumer, how many words is that worth? This video is about 30 seconds long, and what you get out of it is you get the founders talking, and he opens up saying, hey, I was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 24. She cured me through these superfoods, basically. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that went in there, but a big part that helped them were these superfoods. They decided to make a brand out of it, and they're like, hey, welcome to the family. We're so happy you're here. End video. I'm like, okay, awesome. Show my code, please. I mean, before I'm even getting that code, I know who the founders are. I know all about their brand. I have this emotional story that I can kind of tie myself to. And the product, I mean, that's a rave review, right? It helped me beat cancer. That's awesome. I get all of that before I'm even getting that discount code to go purchase. Think about how many times you've unlocked a discount code and you've been able to get those kind of intangibles. I mean, pretty much nothing. I'm just getting that code, and then it's up to me to go into the site and investigate and learn more about the brand. This does it automatically for you, all within 30 seconds. Pretty awesome. And you can see that people left and went back and purchased. This is what the sales are up here, 52K. But of course, this also gives the opportunity to take consumers on another part of the journey. Show my code. I want to learn more. We're going to connect them right to our customer service. And again, you can see all the stats baked into all of this. So I guess people cared a little bit less about their health blog, but at least it's there. And you can see some people were opening it and messing around with it. And then if you also go check around, you can see there's about us, maybe some inspiration, chocolate lover spread. I need some ideas, all of this is kind of, and then of course you have right here your customer service. All of this is baked in with the simple discount opening, which is pretty cool. So these flows and sequences can get pretty complex and interesting at a pretty awesome rate. So this, by the way we attribute this is a 72-hour window. Just so you guys know, if this was the last point of contact and you left, that is a 72-hour window. That's how we attribute that. But anyways, this is a pretty awesome example. I love showcasing because I think it does the sales part right and the branding right. Sorry?
You guys are using last touch model, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Attribution.
Correct, yeah. But this is a great example of basically the two main things that Recart helps with. we're going to increase sales, and we're going to increase our branding and our image. And they do it all within one flow. So these flows and sequences, when you guys saw and I clicked it, they can get pretty intense and complex. So what we've done is kind of create a library. This is our template library. This is to derive some inspiration. Again, though, this could be so much further. Like, this could be expanded so much further, because I think we're just scratching the surface here. But let's just say you wanted to send a sponsored message to everyone that's in your messenger list on Valentine's Day. You can do so. You just press use this flow, and this entire sequence will automatically go into your backend. This is like, if you don't want to find those kissy faces or emojis or I always forget his name, Ryan Gosling, I think, and he's clapping, right? If you don't want to find all this stuff, then this is already there, baked in for you to use. So pretty cool, this template library, and we're just expanding that as well as we speak. But let me show you, we're mostly at the end here. Let me show you a few more things, but I covered the main 2 points, the on-site and the ads. But let me show you a couple more things. So I know I spoke a bit about from ads and Messenger to Klaviyo and to SMS, to email and SMS. But some other companies have actually sent out emails saying, hey, I know you're part of our email list, but join our Messenger list. And I know you're part of our text list, but join our Messenger list. So you can do it the other way around. Again, it's another own channel for you to control and take advantage of. And that can be pretty awesome. So cross-pollinating there. We can do QR codes. That's a little more gimmicky, but it's definitely possible. This is basically to say, and this is a frequently asked question, what if I'm logged out? How does that work? Or what if I don't have Facebook at all and don't have the Messenger app? What happens? Well, first of all, Facebook is the most popular social media channel by far. If you don't have Facebook, that's most likely not the target we're even looking for. Every Facebook account automatically comes with a Messenger account. So that as long as you have Facebook, you're going to be able to handle these Messenger channels. If you don't have a Facebook, this just won't appear. The send a message, it'll recognize that, and it just won't appear. But let's just say you're logged out. It'll basically just prompt. I don't know if you guys have downloaded some apps or something. It'll ask for you to prompt. You can log in with Facebook. It's kind of like that prompt to log in. That's how it works. And that's pretty much the only issue. But that's just comes with any kind of Facebook login. So if you're not logged in, you're just going to get prompted to log in, and then we'll move from there. Yeah, this is essentially what I'm saying is no matter where the product is on the, if you're logged in, you're logged out, you're on Instagram, you're on whatever, it'll work. The product will work. If you don't have a Messenger app, that's for people who didn't do the update 5 years ago when Facebook split the two apps. And that's about like 99% of people have both apps. So that's the only time where it'd be like, okay, we've run into some kind of weird anomaly problem. But if you haven't updated your phone in 5 years, then I don't think we're really trying to target you anyways. So
yeah, I think those cases definitely don't disqualify the value, right, of the
yeah, exactly,
90% you get from that.
Exactly. So this is another pop-up example. I just want to show you guys. You put in your email. We're also going to send that discount to Messenger. There's very little churn here, and we're going to give them that discount code. So you can do those examples I was showing you guys earlier, but also on pop-ups. And then this is basically just to say that we have automated flows and re-engagements that are already being taken advantage of, mostly on email and SMS, mostly tracking updates, things like that. We can do all those as well. When you're checking out, send the notification, send the order receipt to your Messenger. We can do all those as well. That's definitely there for people. Again, it's another own channel that you can use. And this is interesting. So 91% of discount codes are never used. Just by adding Recart, you've taken that down to about 80%. If you can add 11 more people out of 100 using your discount codes, I mean, that's powerful, especially if you have a lot of traffic and you go to scale. Again, that goes back to the reminders. We live in that ADD society. If I can get pretty good reminders within a 24-hour period, this could be pretty strong and remind me to use that discount code. Everyone talks about cart abandonment. No one talks about discount abandonment. Yeah. And then this is probably one of my favorite things that we do. This is sponsored messages. So this is the email, if you will, for Recart. So once you accumulate this list of subscribers at any time, it could be a year later, it could be a few months down the road, you can execute these messages directly to a messenger inbox. The only difference is that it's a 90% open rate as opposed to a 12 to 25% open rate. So if you've accumulated 100K messenger subscribers, and usually our merchants that are doing over $1 million a year are seeing on average about 1,000 new subscribers a day with our product. You could see in just 100 days, what is that, 100,000? You send that out to a sponsored message to 100,000 people, 90% open rate, 90K are opening that. I mean, the difference between that and email, for example, you're only looking at about 25K of those people opening it. So you can see how this is pretty awesome. Sponsored messages are definitely, I guess, like the icing on the cake. That's kind of why I wanted to end with this. You have all these ways to open up this funnel, both on ads and both on your pop-ups when you're coming onto a website. And you build these lists up and you get emails and SMS, and it's awesome, and you tell your branding. But in terms of like the sales, like the finisher, if I can send out these coordinated sale emails directly into an inbox with 90% open rates, and you can see how interactive this is, right? Like I'm sending them emojis and people running, and you can take this to anything. I'm launching an exclusive product tomorrow. It's pretty awesome. So again, this is the sponsored messages, I think, are really the key to taking our product to the next level. And you can see that the results right here, sure, click to messenger ads are awesome, but again, these things enable the sponsored messages, and the sponsored messages is really where we can see that awesome return on ad spend, and those sales numbers that we can see here. And on average, if you add messenger marketing with Recart, you're seeing it about 8 to 14% increase total in revenue. Pretty great. So in closing, messenger marketing is totally new, yes. And I know I said a lot of different things, yes. But if main takeaways, we can evolve your ads completely just change your click to messenger ad, your landscape. We can evolve your pop-ups that you're already doing on your websites right now. And combining those two, we can execute awesome sponsored message strategies, which again, email in 90% open rate is the best way to think about it. All of that I just said is also just scratching the surface. I think there is a ton of more education, a ton of more capabilities and cool use cases that people haven't even really discovered, because again, there's not the biggest sample size, right? People are just starting to get their toes really wet with this. So I'm pretty excited for the future with this marketing vertical.
Yeah, the biggest advertisers are jumping on board, as you can see. So this is definitely worth exploring. Nick, so we've got a question.
Sure.
So I remember that's one of the reasons that messenger marketing kind of died down in terms of, like being this trendy topic, was that Facebook imposed some limitations on the volume of sponsored messages you can send. So what is it? What are the restrictions looking like now? What is the frequency at which you can send people messages?
Yep. Great question. So let me just scroll up here. This one kind of helps supplement. So the moment you're right. To the person that asked the question, you're 100% right. When this was getting just off the ground, Facebook didn't have a limit on the businesses that it could interact. So if businesses were sending messages to people every single day, it was a horrible experience. Businesses, consumers were getting spammed and reporting it to Facebook. It was inevitable. So Facebook made this rule, the 24-hour rule. So the moment I interact with the brand, and again, that's just me responding to the brand on Facebook. If I don't tap this unlock discount button, I'm not opting in. So the moment I respond, that second, as a business, I have 24 hours to interact with that consumer. That's what this is. So if there's no add to cart in 3 hours, we're going to send them this follow-up. If there's no add to cart in 21 hours, we're going to send them this follow-up. I can't say if there's no add to cart in 30 hours, we're going to send them this follow-up. Facebook won't let me do that. So this is free, and that's how the messenger model works. The moment I interact, I can follow up with them, and we usually say 2 times max within that 24-hour period. Beyond that, you're going to have to do sponsored messages. And that's what I was just showing you guys. That's that coordinated email, if you will, the thing that you can just execute and send out to all your subscribers. There's no bounds to that. You can send that once a day until at the end, the consumer at any point can press, I don't want to see messages from this business anymore. So, do your due diligence there, but you can definitely hypothetically send them a sponsored message every single day or every single hour if you want after that. But it might cost a lot of money because those sponsored messages are the same as the ads that you're spending, the cost per click as the ads you're spending. But the reason why the return on investment is just so much greater is because it's not an ad that you're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, just scrolling past it and clicking it. You're getting it in your inbox. You're getting notified on your phone. Messenger is one of those tools that people have the notifications on, so people are getting notified in a banner form, and everyone's going to look at that and be like, what is this? Oh, this was that brand messaging me. This is awesome. So that's I hope that explains it. You have the 24-hour window, and then beyond that, you can do the sponsored messages to your own will.
Mm-hmm. And what are the costs of those messages? Is it also on a CPM model, or is it something?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also done from within Recart backend.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't catch that. You said it's on the Recart backend.
You send those sponsored messages from within Recart backend, right?
Yeah. So you create them on the Recart backend, just like the way I was showing you guys, the way our backend works, and then you just connect that window to your Facebook Ads Manager. It's a simple plug and play, and then you press send on Facebook. When that ad goes out on Facebook, it'll just pull the information from that Recart, and then that's how it works. It's very easy.
Yeah, awesome. It's really, really cool. So actually, the first reason that I started looking into Recart was that we were trying to reach a Gen Z audience on email. And it was quite tricky because, those guys don't tend to use email that much. And also, being able to use them on multiple channels is really, really useful. But now I see that there's so much more to this. And we're testing it out on a brand as well who has this personalized product. Right, and it's all about pets and personalization. It's really funny how we can fit videos into this conversational style, which really create kind of wow experience. Like when I was going through it, and I'm like, wow, this is great. So yeah, I feel that there's a huge potential, and I want to explore this use case with the quizzes.
Yeah, definitely. And we're pumping out a case study a week over here because, this just goes back to, I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse here. I just keep saying the same thing, but we're seeing so many new things from our brands, each of our brands, trying new things out and new approaches, that it's so interesting to us. We're like, all right, let's make another case study about this because maybe this can cause the next inspiration. It's like a domino effect. I send someone one case study, they're like, wow, this is so cool. I thought of this and this from that case study. It's really interesting how all this is evolving.
And I think this is powerful, right? So the way a lot of people view ads is very logical now still, right? So hey, think, what's the problem that you're solving? What's the solution, etc., right? Well, actually, my understanding is evolving more towards creating those really powerful emotional experiences for customers that they will just, get their attention and get your brand remembered, and get those customers to interact with you and show it to all your friends. And really those messenger conversations, you really have the opportunity nowhere else. Not no video ads, nothing like that will create those kind of experiences for people. So this is really, really powerful.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I see that we've got a lot of different use cases for Recart as well. But I also wanted to mention that it's not like Recart is not like one of those apps that you just pay for, right? That you guys have a very interesting model that is tied to performance. So maybe do we want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to talk about that. So let me get out of here real quick and pull this up. So this is interesting. I know a lot of SaaS companies out there will charge based off of user base and messages sent. Um, our pricing is a little unique. We actually charge, we put our money where our mouth is. So we charge based off how much the money we're making you guys, and then we divide that by like 100th or something. I mean, it's pretty crazy, the proportion that we charge to what we're making you. That also doesn't factor in the whole new dimension that we're adding. That new dimension is, you have this whole full-blown messenger marketing channel that you just added on, and you can take, you can go many links with that. It's your channel forever. You can own that. So we don't factor in those kind of like side tangible things that we bring to the table. We just focus on that 72-hour window. The more those purchases go up, it's a sliding scale, if you guys can see this. This is the amount that Recart's bringing to. This is the amount that you pay per month. And it gets capped at a certain rate, and then we can start talking about like fixed plans, stuff like that. But we're very ROI positive. You can see even like our bigger plan, if you will, comes with an 8x ROI guarantee. Again, this doesn't factor in the subscribers. That's all you guys forever. And since there is not much education and backbone behind messenger marketing that's widespread, at least, we're more than happy to come on and help, make that bridge, make that jump for you. Because a lot of companies are frankly, impressed after I talk and explain all these messenger marketing perks. But it's still daunting to take that first step, that first jump. I mean, this could be a company. If I'm an entrepreneur, this is my baby. Do I want to mess my current marketing, logic that I've been so set on for so many years and take this new approach? I mean, it could be scary. So we totally understand that, especially since there's not much information out there with. So we're there to help you. We're almost acting as another extension of your company to make sure that not only the product is set up right and it's working right, but you guys are also seeing success and your branding is represented well. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are super helpful in setting this up, especially when all the integration stuff is tricky for some non-technical clients and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love this sliding scale. I love how you guys focus on incrementality, and I love how actually the learning curve is not that huge with all those message templates. You just like plug in your brand, modify
Yep.
the vibe of the messages and a little bit, and then just go live and test it out, right? Of course,
Yep.
I would say that it does require some focus, right? If you wanna test it out. So don't just jump in and implement Messenger and email at the same time and things like that, especially if you're in the business by yourself for now. So you wanna prioritize the focus first, right? But if you have
Exactly.
time, if your website is not converting for any reason, either fix it or just use Recart straight away.
Yeah, exactly. That should be our new slogan.
We're gonna be
uh,
selling. This is really funny. So we're gonna be selling things for like this tool to fix to kind of measure your swimming pool water quality through Messenger.
okay.
I'm really curious how it goes because we're getting really cool results through email, and I think that's gonna be another really interesting case study for Messenger because this is
Yeah.
an education product, right?
Yep.
So people really need to get to understand that. And email drips are killing it, converting it like 5%, from click to purchase through like
Hmm.
14-day email sequence, which is insane. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Metro is better.
Yeah, and we're not, trying to take away those email campaigns. We're going to add to that. So if we did some kind of like ad or something, helping people understand that product better, we're going to collect those Klaviyo emails, and you're going to know, basically all those factors: the location, language, gender, location, prof pic, first name, last name, and that already, that goes directly into your email campaign that you can then execute on from there. So pretty powerful how it can all tie together while also conveying to the education as well. So
Yeah, exactly. Awesome, Nick. Super cool to have you here. It's been a pleasure. I think that's all the questions that I have as well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to scaling more through Messenger. and I recommend you guys to try that out as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate it. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you everybody for joining and listening in. I hope you guys learned a little bit about messenger marketing. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. It's Nick, N-I-C-K, at recart.com. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. But yeah, thank you again, Matt. Looking forward to exploring some more case studies with you.
Thanks a lot for staying till the very end. This was e-commerce scaling strategies by SalesGenomics, brought to you by Matt from SalesGenomics. If you're interested in more tips and strategies on how to scale your e-commerce business, visit our Facebook group called e-commerce scaling strategies by SalesGenomics, or follow us on social media.